Hey there, everybody, and this is Jacob for another Emerald City update. So, this is going to be, I think, the third update in sort of like the series I've been doing where I kind of go over what Emerald City is up to. For those of you that don't know, Emerald City is the first DAO on Flow that I founded, I think a few weeks ago at this point, and we have some major updates to go over that I'm really excited to share. Um, so the first one is I'm sort of going to be talking to the camera directly, but then I'm going to sort of go over a demo of some stuff we've been doing. But some updates that I want to sort of talk about. Let me actually switch my screen here to show our Discord. So somehow, some way in the past, I think it was 4 days maybe, we have gained over 300 new members. So this DAO was initially something that went from just a few people. I think it was like maybe 30 or some people, which was still a significant amount. But over the weekend, we got in contact with Flowverse, which is the people that sort of promote projects on Flow. We had some people tweet about our project. So now we have over 300 people that are actually in the Discord. You can see on the right-hand side here, we have tons and tons and tons of new members. And so this has been a super exciting thing for Emerald City. But you know, with this sort of comes a responsibility to actually start taking action and start making things happen. Um, and so by the time this video goes live, we will actually be having our first town hall meeting, which is our sort of group gathering on Saturday. So the day that, so tomorrow when this goes live, it'll be tomorrow. And we'll be having that at 7 a.m. PST. So this is going to be basically a time for all of us to come together, talk about Emerald City, what its goals are, and start getting some actual like stuff going. Um, and so I sort of wanted to show an initial example of some of the tooling that we've built, right? Because this DAO serves two purposes, and this is a lot of the stuff I'm going to be talking about in tomorrow's town hall. But this DAO serves two purposes, right? And these goals have sort of adapted and changed, but we've settled on that this DAO will serve to educate people in the Flow ecosystem and the Flow community. So what that means is teaching people about the Flow blockchain, teaching people about Cadence code, and this is happening through multiple directives. One of which is through the YouTube series that I've been doing actually on this channel, right? So I've been doing the Learn Flow / Cadence Zero to Hero series. And the second one that I've been doing is actually, I can pull this up as well, is actually a GitHub sort of repository where I'm teaching people about Flow and Cadence. And so this is, I'll pull this on the screen right now. So this is sort of a Flow Zero to Hero course that I've been doing on GitHub. You can go to this link. It's jacob-tucker / Flow Zero to Hero. And this is a written tutorial series that I've been doing that sort of mimics the YouTube series that teaches people Flow and Cadence. And I've done a welcome video on this as well that's also on the channel. And so all of these sort of educational resources are to help people in the Flow community get introduced to Web3, the blockchain, stuff like that. So if you're a Web2 developer, that's someone that knows like maybe JavaScript or React or front-end development or back-end development, and that you want to get interested in, you're interested in the blockchain stuff and you want to start writing some blockchain code, this is a perfect opportunity to start getting into that sort of like Web3 Cadence aspect. And in addition, it's also for non-developers, so people that have never coded before and who are really interested in, you know, coding Cadence and making smart contracts and stuff like that. It's also for them. And so sort of this DAO, Emerald City DAO, is serving this purpose of education, but the goal is that eventually those people that are learning the Cadence and Flow stuff will almost graduate into building the DAO tooling for all future DAOs on Flow. And so that's sort of like the main directive and the main purpose of this DAO is to actually build that tooling. And so what does that really mean? Well, I've talked about this in previous updates, but essentially this is building things like Snapshot. So if we were to go to Snapshot, I have to pull this on my screen again, but things like Snapshot don't exist on, you know, Flow. So this is sort of like a governing / voting platform that you can vote for DAOs on Ethereum. This doesn't exist on Flow, and so we need to make this sort of tooling. And in addition, Discord bots like collab.land, you know, these are bots that sort of authenticate the amount of tokens in a user's account when they are trying to sort of join a Discord server or something like that. And of course, the web page isn't loading, but you know, I guess you would get the point if I. So here it is. So it's a Discord bot that, you know, helps people get involved in a community by having sort of gated access to a community on Discord. And so the goal for Emerald City is sort of to build that tooling, but we sort of have this path from education to building that tooling. People that are non-developers or Web2 developers can learn the Cadence code and sort of graduate into building that tooling. And one really important thing to mention though is that the DAO tooling that we're talking about, which is making Discord bots for authentication or making voting/governance proposals, of course that includes Web3 aspects like Cadence code and smart contracts and dApps and stuff like that. But a lot of that code and a lot of the contribution does not have to be blockchain focused. And so you can totally contribute to this DAO without having to know anything about blockchain code, without having to know anything really even about blockchain. Although, of course, you can use Emerald City as the avenue through its educational resources to build that tooling. But for example, a Discord bot, which I'll demo in a moment, that's pretty much all JavaScript, right? It's literally 99% JavaScript with a little bit of blockchain stuff in there. And so if you're a Web 2 developer who knows React or front end or JavaScript, you could totally contribute that way. Another thing that we've gotten contribute, we actually have this channel called Contributions now. One team, thanks to Dean and the Genius team, they actually contributed a Twitter banner. So this is if you go on our Twitter now, it's called Emerald_DAOs or Twitter handle at Emerald_DAO. You'll see this is our new Twitter banner. And so this, of course, this is not coding related at all. This is just contributing through artistry. And I was grateful enough to have the Genius team actually contribute this piece of artwork for us. And in addition, people that are even in the welcome channel, welcoming people into the Discord. We have tons of people waving and saying hello, how are you? Even boosting the server. These are all great ways to contribute to the Emerald DAO. And so there's so many avenues to contributing besides just blockchain code. So I think it's really important to mention that you do not have to be a Web3/blockchain developer to contribute to a DAO, right? There's so many different ways to get involved. And with all of that said, I'd like to demo our first piece of tooling that we have come up with. So if we actually go to, so if you were to join the Discord channel, you can go to any of the channels. I'm just going to do this in the random channel. And what I'm going to do is I'm doing this under the Jacob Tucker account. I'm going to get rid of the beta tester role under my account, right? So you can see I don't have the beta tester role. And what this tooling is we basically made a bot called Emerald Bot. And that's right here. So you can see it's actually online. It's called Emerald Bot. And what this does is you can use this tool to authenticate users to give them a sort of role, which in this case is beta tester, if they have a certain number of tokens in their account. So what sort of token are we working with? Well, I deployed a testnet, so it's not a real token called Emerald Beta. And it's completely testnet, it's fake, but it's sort of an example of authenticating into a Discord. And so I'll show you that if once I authenticate, I'll have the beta tested role. So let's actually go and test this out. So if I was to go into the random channel and do !join, you'll see that it actually sends me a DM and it says, hey there, please click the link above if you have 5 Emerald Beta tokens and wish to gain access to be given the beta tested role. Or if you haven't minted yet, you can mint here. So I'm going to assume that we haven't minted yet. So let's go and mint our tokens by clicking on this link. And so this will bring us to a web page that is emerald-city.netlify.app. I just deployed this on Netlify. And if we log in with Blockdo, I'm going to log in on an account that presumably we've never used before. So if you've never really done the minting process, you can type in your email here. So I'm going to type in coolkid13070+1@gmail.com. So this is sort of my base email that I always use to record YouTube videos with, so I don't leak my actual email. And let's actually go to my Gmail and let's get the Blockdo code that it sent me, which is 603958. So I'm just going to copy that and paste it in. And of course, it's giving me problems. So 603958, I think it was. Okay, and of course, it's giving me errors. So let's actually go and try it again. This is I guess Blockdo's problem. I don't think this has anything to do with our app, but let's go back to our email and I'll type it in. Sometimes if you copy and paste it, it gets a little glitchy. So 784324. So 784324. And you'll see it worked. So I guess you just have to manually type it in, and then it comes up with our account. So if I click confirm, it comes up with a balance of 0. Here's our address. It says click the button below to mint Emerald Beta tokens. So if I was to click on mint here, it's going to come up with a testnet transaction that you can run. This sort of mints Emerald Beta tokens in your account. And if we click approve, then it's going to say, please wait about 20 seconds for your tokens to be in your account. And so if we click view your transaction, we will see that it's going to bring us to the transaction page on FlowScan, and it's going to show us what's going on with the transaction. And once this executes, we will actually have 5 Emerald Beta tokens in our account. And so I guess we'll just have to wait for this to go through. It says execution pending. hopefully this will go through somewhat soon so that we're not all sitting here looking at each other awkwardly. Um, so yeah, this is okay. Boom. So execution success. That means everything worked. And if we go back to our page and refresh the page, now it says we have a balance of 5, and you successfully completed the minting process. Boom. So we're all done. So now if I was to go back to the Discord bot and click here to verify your account, let's go to this web page, and you'll see that now all I have to do is click and log in with Blockdo, and then here comes up my email and just click confirm. And it says you can close your browser now. So if we close our browser, it says you've been granted the beta tester role. And if we go back to the Discord and look at my roles, I now have the beta tester role. So this is our first example of tooling. Of course, this is this is really exciting, right? Like this is we were on a mission to make DAO tooling for all DAOs on Flow, and this is sort of the initial beta test. Now the goal is to sort of abstract this to work with every DAO. So of course, right now this is like hard coded to work with Emerald Beta. But once we have a team formed around this and we have people actually contributing to this project, then we're going to have, we're going to abstract it to work with every DAO so that they can import their own contract, their own tokens, their own amount, right? So this was 5, but their own amount, and it will work for their fungible tokens, their NFTs, whatever they want. So that's sort of the goal for the future. So this is sort of like the process for actually making this tooling is to figure out what tooling needs to be made, so a Discord bot, figuring out if people are interested in it and if DAOs would need it. And what that means is getting in contact with DAOs on Flow and figuring out if they actually want this tooling. If they do, we make an initial beta test like we just did. We demo it, get people excited about it, right? So people got excited about it, as you can see by all these reactions. And then we form a team and actually abstract it to work with every DAO. And then once it does, we deploy it on mainnet and the tooling is out there for everybody. So this was sort of an update on where Emerald City is at, what our goals are. And if you're seeing this video, we will be meeting on December, what's the date today? Let me check my phone. We will be meeting on December 11th at 7 a.m. PST in the Discord in this voice channel right here if you want to learn more about Emerald City and get involved in its initial phases. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next update.